Hi, I'm Scott Templeton. I own the Family Karate Academy in Southlake, Texas, and we are the North Texas Hoist Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Network representatives. I, along today with Enri Zulati, are going to help you learn the open guard. And the open guard is an entrance to reversals, which is the third of our series, one of three that we've introduced positions. The second one we've introduced escapes, and today we're going to tell you about reversals. And here today, Enri's going to help you out. Let's go, guys.
Get my guard. Okay, as we discussed in the previous tape, we discussed the guard a little bit. This was a closed guard with my ankles crossed, high up on his back. As soon as I uncross my feet, it immediately becomes an open guard, but there's a certain way I have to play with this guard to make it effective. Preferably, I want to take my feet as hooks and hook them inside his legs. Okay, like this, inside. Now, there are some drills that we do in our class that helps the kids with the open guard, and that's the drills I'm going to show you right now, and it'll kind of help explain how to properly use the open guard. Okay, James, stand up. The first thing kind of helps with strength and also with the feel of these hooks inside. We have the kids lay back like this, and then I'm going to pull James with my feet. He's going to walk back and then give me a little bit of resistance as I pull back. Okay, and he's going to walk back. And I'll pull him in. Give me a little more resistance, James. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to let the kids try this a little bit, and then we're going to move on to one more drill that helps out with the open guard and explaining how to do it properly.
Let's go, guys. Carly, if you would, why don't you help us pair up with us? Chris, why don't you go up in the show, and you can kind of help coach, okay? Let's go, guys. Hands up, Chris. Hands up. There you go. Go ahead.
Again, this is a good drill to develop strengthen the quads, so you can have a good, strong guard. Chris, you want to really hook those. Just like their hooks back there.
What's significant about this open guard that we're practicing today, it's a highly effective method of fighting for a smaller person because you're always on your back and you're not necessarily in a bad position, especially with your hooks in, because it's a setup to when they go down to the reversals in which we're going to show you today.
So let's move on. You guys take a break. James, back here. Okay, the next drill that we do is very similar, except this time, as he walks into me, I'm going to fall back and bring my knees inside, okay, closer to my chest. Again, I'm keeping pressure on his legs with these hooks outside. Now, as he walks back, I'm going to get up with him. The whole point here being, when you're using your open guard, you don't want to stay stretched out or flat. In other words, I don't want to stay here with my body flat, and I don't want to stay here with my legs flat. I always want to be balled up, just like a ball. So when I'm here, I'm balled up. As he walks into me, again, I'm balled up. Okay? The point behind this is, if my legs are stretched, he can pass my guard a lot easier now. Okay? Or the other way, if I'm up like this and my legs are stretched, he can pass my guard literally just by walking right on. Okay, so, again, James, when I'm here, now it's difficult. It's difficult to pass the guard, okay? Also, if I'm here, if he's trying to pass the guard, it's difficult. Okay, either way. Okay, if he walks back, I go with him. Okay. He comes in. I'm down like this. He can move to the side if he wants. I'll just keep my hooks in and just work with him. Okay, work with him. And then it's basically up to James now what he wants to do. He can go back, he can come forward. Okay, just like that. All right, you guys pair up and try.
Very good. Let's go, guys. Just like any other martial art, this is what's considered the basics to be successful at the ground grappling. Let's go, guys. Get those hooks in. There you go.
Keep a lot of pressure on their feet. A lot of pressure on their feet. Somebody you want to hold up?
Speed it up a little bit.
Motion you want. Your hooks out.
Hands up, Devin.
Okay, very good. All right, guys, take a break. Okay, now we're gonna use this, what they just learned, and we made a game out of it that you can play with them. What I'll have two guys be the stand-up team, and for that, let me have Michelle and Devin. Okay, they are going to be up on their feet. Okay, and they're going to be over here on this side, right there. Everybody else is going to be the ground team. Now, here's how the game works. You guys are going to be down. Okay, if I can pass this guard over here, establish a dominant position for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, he's out. Okay, and I can pass the guard in any way. I can go here to pass it, okay, whatever the position may be, as long as I can establish this for 3 seconds. Now, that's how they get out. Now, how do these guys get out? If me and Devin are going, Michelle, can you move out of the way a little bit so they can see? If he engages with me, I'm going to play my open guard over here and somehow try to reverse him. Okay, once I reverse him, he is out. And you can do this many ways. Okay, I can use reversals. I can go for a single leg like this. Okay, any way to take him down. He's out. In the end, we'll have one team that will be the winner. Now, the important thing here is don't have two guys pair up on one person. Once they choose who they want to engage, it's one-on-one. Okay, it's one-on-one. All right, let's see how you guys will do. Ready? Go. Since we've got 3 on the ground and 2 standing up, one person will kind of be left out until somebody gets out. Okay, that's it.
Very good.
Now let's switch roles. We get you 2 down and you 3 up. Ready?
Let's go, guys. Go. Some fun.
And when I say dominant position, what I'm saying is they have to completely pass the guard. They can't land in their guard and have that be a dominant position.
Good job. Good. That was good. That's fun. All you have to do is make it fun and they'll retain it. They'll learn. Just create a fun environment. Good. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to some reversals. Let's put this into action.
Here we go.
We're going to go ahead and move on to our classic sweep. Some call it basic sweep, simple sweep, whatever you'd prefer to call it. It's the easiest one out there. And the best thing about it, it always works, okay? And it depends on where the weight and weight's distributed and the time's right, but it's one of the easiest things to do. Henry and I are going to show you how to do it in real time, and then the kids are going to use Buddy. They're going to use the Century's Throwing Buddy to practice on him, okay? Let's go from here. Henry?
Yep. Okay, let's start from a closed guard. Just like this, ankles crossed. Okay, I'm going to put my feet flat, like this. I want my knees to be tight against him. I don't want them to be loose because he can pass the guard like this. Okay, so keep them tight. All right, now, from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this arm across. I'm grabbing his elbow right here, and I'm just going to move myself away from him. I'm not pushing him away from me. Okay, I am moving myself just slightly away and turning to my side. Okay, turning to my side. Another thing about reversals in jiu-jitsu is you're always working from your side. So if you're flat, if you find yourself doing this flat, you're doing it wrong. Okay? So from here, uncross. Okay? Walk back, turn to your side. I'm going to bring this knee all the way up, touch his shoulder, and I'm going to transfer this behind his head. Okay, just like this. And I'm really pulling in and pushing out with my knee, making it really tight. Okay, making it real tight. So from here, I'm holding on to this. Okay, this is very important because when I do this reversal, if I do not hold on to his elbow, he's going to bridge out with his arm, like that. So I'm going to hold on. I'm going to pull him into me as I sweep and kick out. Okay, now this pull, when I say I'm going to pull him, is very important. The reason being, if his weight is straight down on his legs, it's going to make it very difficult for me to push him. So I'm going to just add a little pull him onto me as I kick him over with my right leg and sweep him with my left leg. Okay, let's go ahead and do it here. Okay, all the way onto the mount. One more time. Now, the reason I put this on the shoulder instead of down here, it used to be taught this way, but it's changed because it's very easy for him to push this knee down here and pass my guard around. Okay, so be very careful when you're doing this. It's effective if the other person doesn't know what you're doing. Okay, down here it's effective, but it works very well over here. Also, it works better here because if he's punching, it prevents him from reaching me, okay, to the face. All right, so from here, let's go from the beginning. We're here. I'm going to pull him onto me and flip him over. Okay, and we're going to let the kids practice with the throwing buddies.
Let's go, guys. Make sure you spread them apart a little bit so they don't run into each other. If you have a hard time, just call us over, guys. Go to your back there, Chris. Good. There you go. Good, Carly. Turn to your side, Chris. That's the most important thing. Turn to your side. Correct. Good, but go with them, James. Go with the flow. That'll transfer you to the mount. Flip him over. Beautiful.
Go with him. Stay tight. Go with him all the way to the mount.
This takes you right to the mount position that we covered in our first series. Positions. Okay? It's all starting to make sense, you see? Let's go, guys. You want to try to do both sides as well. You don't want to just get dominant on one side. Train both sides. Okay, guys, go ahead and sit up straight. Henry, if I could borrow you, please. Let's do a variation of the reversal. There are a bunch. There are dozens and dozens. But today we're going to present just a handful and hope that we teach them right, hope that you learn them right, and then they're effective if you just apply them at the right time. Henry, can I borrow you for a second? It goes back to what Henry started here, hooks in. All right? Typically, in most competition situations, they start from here, knee to knee, and some more aggressive children than others will just charge right over. So we encourage that they start like this, other than this and just falling backwards, because what this gives me the ability to do, let's say, for example, Henry, we're an aggressive fighter. He comes right in, and I just got my hooks in. Okay, and I'm going to approach it the most simple way because simplicity works. All right, I want you to hook down here, okay, before you come flat to your back. Okay, let's do it again. All right, you can hook here, or if you get them in time, you can hook them up high. What you're essentially doing, like we covered in our escapes, we're exploiting both sides, okay? Or at least this side, I'm sorry, we're going to go ahead and hook up this side. In reversals, you have to exploit the opposite side to create an elevator type movement. What I mean by that, I want to make sure that I'm clear, okay? If I've stopped this side from basing out, for example, okay, it could still work, but it's going to be a lot of work to get over here. I'm going to flip him this way, As soon as I lean back, I'm going to utilize this opposite hook, this hook over here, and I'm going to pull this arm to prevent him from coming out. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Okay, and that's what we're going to go over with the throwing buddy as well. Keep it tight, elbow in here. If you have to, get in close, scoop, scoop. Remember that you don't have to pull him to you. Once these hooks are in, scoop, okay, and lean back together, especially if they're charging. That's the whole point. If they're charging, you want to go back with them. Okay, guys, don't fall backwards, and then from here, try to pull him in. All he has to do is look up and straighten his back. Okay, guys, is everybody clear? So from here, we tuck this in tight, and we're going to lean this way and kick the opposite foot up. Real easy. And we've transferred to the full mount again. Okay, the good stuff about this is that, and we'll continue later, we're going to begin to set up submissions. But we're not interested in that right now. We're interested in position and movement. All right, one more time, guys, and we're going to move on. Let's do it from this angle, right here, so we both can see. Here, they've charged in. We've hooked. It's always good to come over here as well if you can. Hook under here. Why? What does it do with this side? Right, it gets him up this way. Once you get his upper body, all right, and just stay tight. Is everybody clear? Good. Let's go from there. Practice right there on your throwing buddy.
Here we go.
Very simple. Okay, don't try not to start flat on your back. There you go. Hooks in. Very good. Just hook it up and pull his arm down here. This motion. Pick that foot up. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Some more. Good. One hand inside.
Good. Good.
And one holding this inside here tight.
Good. That's okay. Do it again. Do it again.
Keep going. Keep going.
That's all we're doing.
Keep going. Keep moving.
Keep your hooks inside the leg. Again, we've talked about it before. That is why these throwing buddies are so good. You can use these buddies for repetitive movement, even when they're making mistakes. Otherwise, they would be banging each other up while we're drilling, while we're practicing. Okay, guys, stop. Carly, I want you and James to pair it, please. Devin, if you and Chris would pair it, please. Just move them off to the side. We will use them again in a second. Let's see if this works. Let's put it in action. Get across from your partner. We're taking turns. We're not grappling. Be clear. If you're not clear, they're going to immediately start to grapple, and you will lose your objective on what you're trying to work on. One person go to their knees. One go to their just sitting down position. Okay, and Henry and I are going to walk around and coach. It's nothing more than what we've been over before, but just make sure that they're doing it right. Okay? If you're sitting on the ground, you're going to do the reversal, obviously. Go for it, guys. That's it. Good. All right, James, your turn. Okay, I want to make one point if we could. Can I borrow you, Henry? Guys, sit up, please. You say, what about these big, aggressive guys that are strong? Okay? That's the beauty of jiu-jitsu, okay? If they're big and strong, okay, and you're having a hard time pulling them back, push into them, push into them, push into them. Natural reaction when you push in is for him to push back. Okay, and just go with them. Okay, guys, you know what I mean? Push and pull. Make them do all the work. All right? That's the essence of it, okay? You make them do the work. Let's go, guys. A couple more times. Ooh, other way. Yeah. With the feet. Let's do it again. Come on. Good, Carly. All right, that's good, guys. Go ahead and get your buddy. Let's move on to another reversal from the open guard.
Here we go.
I'm just going to show you another variation of an open guard reversal. Okay? They are all pretty relevant, but just a little bit different angle. But once you get the understanding, you can begin to apply all of them. It just depends on where your opponent's at. Henry?
Okay, this one we're going to start again. You can start this from the closed guard. Okay, and from here transition into opening it up for the reversal. The same as the classical sweep. Okay, everything's going to be the same. I'm going to go here, controlling this base right here. Okay, and I'm moving my body away from him. Away. I want to go enough to where I can put this right on his knee. Okay, right on the knee. And then what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to stretch him out. I'm going to push this knee out. I'm going to pull this arm in and literally stretch him out. Okay, so from here, stretch out and take them out. Okay. This is a very good reversal because it kind of flows from one into the other. If you remember the very first classical reversal we did, the simple sweep, where I was here. Now, if you were to really base down and really get a good wide base where I can't take him over, you can just let go, put this on the knee, stretch him out. Okay, and take the mount over here. One more time. You can practice it either way. From here, the important thing here is, number one, controlling these bases. You don't want him to be able to bridge out. Okay? And number two, being able to open this guard without him passing, so keeping it tight and moving yourself away. The very last thing to remember is don't do this flat. Do not do it flat. I cannot do this flat on my back like this. It's almost impossible. Okay, so I want to turn to my side. As I move away, I turn to my side. Okay, I'm working off this side as I'm doing this. Again, be sure you control this arm. Okay, I'm going to stretch him out and go with him. Okay, we're going to let the kids practice this a little bit.
Let's go, guys. I would suggest that you do this both with the Century throwing buddy and with the partner. Yes, just turn to your side. It's very important that you don't lay flat. All right, guys, go ahead and stop. Devin, you and Chris, get together, please. Just put the throwing buddy off to the side. James, you and Carly, let's go for it, guys. If you're having a hard time, raise your hand. We'll help you out, okay? Devin, you and Chris are going to work. Turn to the side, flatten them out. Very good.
Here we go.
Alternate. Okay. The higher up on her arm, the stronger she's going to be. So therefore, where's the weak point, James? Where's the weakest in her arm? Okay. That's the point. You exploit the weakness. So it's going to be easier to grab this up. See how she flattened out? Than it is to arm wrestle her up here. So cup it up. Cup it up. There you go. This needs to be up high. Scoot your hips back a little bit, James. Details are extremely, and he just rolls her. Details are extremely important. Doesn't matter if they're big, small. Doesn't matter. Good. Push a little more on his leg. Push a little more. It's very important that you push down close to the floor too, because you start pushing up on their thigh. They're quite a bit stronger. Scoot back a little more, James. Now see, this is the type of resistance that you don't get from the throwing buddy. They're equally important. I think that you get repetition movement over there that you need, and you get resistance training that you need over here. Good. All right, guys, go ahead and stop. Good. All right, they've been working hard, so we're going to let them have some fun. Y'all want to have some fun?
Yeah.
Good. All right, we're going to do a game. You ready, Sensei? Good.
Okay, this game is called Crab Fight. We're going to get on our hands and our feet like this with the bottom off the ground. Okay. Now picture this is an open guard. Right now, This is my guard, that is his guard. Okay? In order to be able to get him down, I've got to get past this guard. So I've got to work myself. I have to try and work around. Of course, he's not going to let me. But let's say I do. Let me do the other side so you can see better. If I work around here, I want to be able to hook with my feet, okay, or grab with my hands to get him out. And he's out if his bottom, elbows, or knees touch the floor, like so. Okay, now, it's very important that you do not allow your kids to kick, okay, or to push, okay? The other thing is, don't allow them to grab across their body, just the same side like this, okay? The point to try to get across here is don't stay here, okay? If I try to play this game here, this is like a guard, okay? I won't be able to get anything because he can use his feet, okay, to block me. I've got to be able to get around. At the same time, he has to get around my guard to take me out. Go ahead, James. Okay? So, if my elbow touches, okay, bottom touches, or my knee, I'm out. All right? You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
See it.
Let's go, guys. Go. Be careful. Be careful. Good. Good job. Hey, Chris, get up. There you go. Oh, good job. Okay. All right, you can do all kinds of games. It's your choice, but that's kind of what we're doing today to, invite you just to implement any of these in your own curriculum, okay? But number one, encourage courtesy, respect, and sportsmanship. Then you'll have a good program. You won't worry about discipline, okay? Other problems like that. Then you have time to learn. Or time to teach, rather. They have time to learn. Good. All right, we're going to move on real quick, guys. Keep your same partner. Henry, may I borrow you, please? All right, what we're going to do, and reward them. There's games, now there's work, there's games. Mix it up, use your judgment, but as long as you're having fun and you're getting some work done. We're going to grapple, guys, just like we did in our other series. It was positional grappling. Today we're going to go ahead and grapple for reversals. Okay, of course you're going to get stuck in positions, right? All right, okay, in those positions that we've been over, the mount, side mount, rear mount, and the guard. But now, really try to focus and encourage them just to work on reversals. It's very, very important. For example, when you're down here, we shake hands, we get ready, we lock up, we come in, set up immediately these reversals. Boom. Okay? Okay? And then just continue. All right? Good. And let them have some fun with it. If they're having fun, let them go. Don't critique too much at this point. Let them try to implement what they've been listening to up to this point. All right, get across from your partners, guys.
Here we go.
Let's go. Let's go, guys. This is exactly why we do not teach submissions yet. They're experimenting with technique and positions. Otherwise, they would just be cranking up onto each other's head, and it's a miserable experience when you first start. If you've got a good fundamental understanding of what you're trying to do, then submissions will come later, and they'll come rather easy, actually, once you get the right positions and movements. Uh-oh. Okay, guys, that's good. Stop. Very good. You've got to talk to your students, communicate with them like Henry does with his students, that You got to find out where their trouble spots are, isolate them, and work on that. If it's always getting stuck at the mount, do a whole class on it. Do a whole class on it. Okay, let's move on to another reversal.
Here we go.
Here's another variation of an open guard reversal. Henry?
Okay, a lot of times when people are in your guard, especially when they're trying to break it, they'll do this. I don't know if you guys can see. What you want to do it on this side? Sorry. They'll put their foot up like this. Okay? So, let's go ahead and move back. Very good. Okay, when they do this, we're going to take the hand closest to it, okay, and we're going to go underneath like this. Okay, now of course, my guard is going to unlock. Okay, so it's not going to stay closed like this. When this happens, I'm going to put this foot on the hip. Okay, just momentarily, I want my head, by pulling myself and by pushing off his hip, I want to point the same direction as his foot over here and his knees going. Okay, so from here, I'm going to reach underneath. I'm going to turn my head this way. Okay, as I do this, this foot comes up underneath his armpit. Okay, so from here, I'll reach underneath, and then I'll use my hips to push him away and lift up with my hand here, all the way into the mount. One more time.
You can do it. Let's do it from the side too. Let's do it from both sides so you can see.
Important, I have to control this arm, okay? Reason being, if I hook underneath, number one, if I don't control the arm, he can break my guard, okay? Also, if I don't control the arm as I'm going through this, he will bridge out, okay? And I won't be able to take him down. So, as I'm doing it, this hand goes in here, this hand controls this arm, okay? If it was a gi, I'd grab the cloth, okay? I'd grab the cloth. All right, here, pull it in. Okay, and always watch your base over here on the mount. Okay, you guys pair up and give it a shot.
Let's go, guys. It's a little more technical, but if you break it down systematically, you can, and if you give them the fundamental understanding of the earlier reversals, they'll pick it up pretty quick. Like this in itself can be a whole class. It can be a whole class. Good, Carly. Very good.
Keep going. You guys get momentum. Go. Keep going. Keep going. Come on. Get up. Good.
I know, but you're only plant your foot to pivot your head. Okay? Keep planting his foot, pivoting his head, and get that over. Okay? There you go. Good job, buddy. And you've got to remember to be patient with the kids. Very good. You've got to get control of this arm. Get it over here. Got to bring yourself high. Get your foot in this hip. To pivot over. Pivot your hip this way. There you go. Now thrust your hips here. And you roll him over. Of course you can help him, but to replace the push, Doug, okay, you've got to get your hips into it. This is essential. This hip development, this hip power, this hip movement is very, very important to all this movement. To get strong right here.
Okay, you guys break. And what you'd like to do is after they work a little bit, kind of break, play a game, work some more, play another game. It keeps their attention, keeps them from getting bored. The next game we're going to do is kind of a spin-off off the crab fight. James, come over here real quick. To get them used to setting out like this. Okay, we're going to play this game the same way we did earlier, same rules. Except this time, if he goes over to the side, I can choose to set out in either direction. Okay, in either direction. If he's hooking this arm, I can sit out here. Okay, now I can get him, but he can sit out. So it makes the game more technical, okay, and a little bit more fun at the same time. All right, you guys go ahead and practice. Make sure you sit out.
Everybody clear? All right, good. We just talked about developing the hip movement, hip power. Here's a way to do it. Let's go, guys. Oh, all right. Uh-oh. Move in, Devin, move in. Be careful, be careful.
One more time. Everybody get in.
Get back up, Chris, get up.
Ready, go.
Get in there, James, don't
Make sure
hide.
you guys are not kicking. Make sure you're hooking with
No
those
kicks,
feet.
no kicks, no kicks.
It's very important that you enforce the rules with the kids. Don't let them kick or push.
Sit out, sit out. A little more difficult. Added that spin out element. Sit out, sit out. There you go. Okay, guys, that's good. Good. Let's move on from there.
Here we go.
Let's let them have a little fun. First, I'm going to show you the practical movement of it. Then with the kids, you can kind of turn it into a speed drill, agility. But primarily, it's just fun. You work them hard during class, and then let them have a little fun with these century throwing buddies. Henry, if you would. This movement kind of roots out when you're locked up together, or you have an aggressive, maybe bigger person, and they're coming at you. Instead of just falling completely backwards and flat, and them taking their weight on top of you, okay, you essentially just kind of sit down, okay? And it's very important if you choose to do this with partners, if they get it down with the century throwing buddies, that they don't base out on their fingers, okay? Make sure that your partners are doing this right too. It's fun, but again, fun games shouldn't result in unnecessary injury if you present the dangers first. We're gonna stay close, okay? We're gonna start easy, and I'm gonna transfer from the open guard, and I'm gonna roll backwards into the full mount. Pretty easy stuff. It's pretty important that you stay close and just here. We go here, boom, okay? If you'll notice with Henry, we kind of went down into the side, and it was perfectly acceptable. Sometimes I almost prefer that instead of throwing them, kicking them vertically over the head. That's okay, but as long as it's done with control. Can you guys do that? Good. Now with the century throwing buddy, it's okay to keep them tight and roll them backwards. It's perfectly fine, but as long as it's tight, okay? All right, you guys ready? Roll backwards, get up, run back, and go at your own speed, okay? It's not a race. Go. Good, Chris. That's the way to do it. Do it again. Good, but just keep your hooks in. Try to keep your hooks in. There you go, Devin. Good. Make sure that they move their head out of the way, or that will happen. They'll roll directly back on their head, preventing them to continue the roll over. Good, Chris. Right there. It's good. Keep going, guys. Keep trying. Circular movement. That was a sit down. Circular movement. Good. Keep going. All right, speed it up a little bit. Good, Chris. Good. All right, Devin. You're going back and you're kind of rolling over. All right, you're just doing a backwards roll. Speed it up a little bit. You're rolling to your side. Go backwards. So I'll help you out. Come on. You're going All right, let's see. Let's see if you got it. Oh, there you go. Good. All right. One more, guys. Everybody do it one more time. Good. Okay, everybody get up. That's good. Good. Okay, bring your throwing buddies over here. Okay, guys. Come on over here. Come on over here if you would, buddy. Okay, that wraps up our open guard series, open guard reversals. Okay, I hope that you learned something. I hope that you take some fun drills out of here and implement it into your own program. That also completes our series of kids jiu-jitsu skills and drills. We covered positions, we covered escapes, and we covered reversals. So look out in the future for submissions, time appropriate, okay? When you have the good fundamental movement down. Thanks. Bye-bye.